Hey everybody, my name's Mike Montgomery.
And I'm Ben Pegg from Will Be Design.
And today we're going to show you how we built this plywood and bungee cord stool on Modern Builds. Nice. So Ben builds things out of skateboards.
Yes, I do.
And has a YouTube channel. That's linked below. But now it's time to build this stool. We used 3/4 inch thick radiata pine plywood for our stool. And the first step was to use this makeshift compass to cut out 4 12-inch circles. We used the jigsaw and cut on the outside of the line. That way we could use the belt sander to sand everything to the line so that we knew that it was nice and round. At first we were gluing and screwing our layers together, but then we thought that since we were power carving, it was probably a better idea to glue up all 4 layers with wood glue and clamps, no metal fasteners. The 3 legs all have a 15-degree splay, so we made a quick jig using the drill press so that we could drill the holes by hand and have a consistent angle. By using this scrap 2x4, we were able to get the drill started at the right angle, and from there, the bit sort of did the rest. Going into the project, this is probably the step I was most nervous about, but since we trimmed the legs to their final length at the end of the project, it really didn't matter about the exact angle, they just needed to look correct. And speaking of the legs, we used a 1¼ inch pine dowel for them. After cutting them to length with a Japanese pull saw, we were able to glue them in place. After all of the glue had cured, we went back to the belt sander and cleaned up all of the faces one last time. Have you ever tried listening to audiobooks? If not, follow the link down in the description to get a free 30-day trial and 2 free audiobooks from Audible. I recommend either Making Time, written and read by Bob Claggett from I Like to Make Stuff, or 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Thanks! If you've seen my channel before, then you've probably seen a little bit of power carving. Typically, I either use an Arbortech turbo plane or a flap disc on an angle grinder. But we recently picked up these abrasive discs from a company called King Arthur, and they'll be linked in the description. We did the rough sanding with that and then switched to a 120 grit flap disc. We also added a bevel or a chamfer to the bottom of the stool to lighten everything up. Now it goes down 3/4 inch, the thickness of one of the sheets of plywood. And from there, we just kept sanding back until it had a good pitch to it. Thanks, Chris. Then, back in Joshua Tree, I used a scrap piece of wood to mark a line so that I could cut my dowels to their final length and have them the correct angle so they sit flush on the floor. And then finally, I hit everything with a random orbit sander, cleaned up the dowels with 220 grit sandpaper, and applied a coat of oil-based polyurethane finish. Typically with pine, I say a water-based finish is the way to go, but I'm starting to think when it's a visible ply project, that an oil-based finish is actually better because it provides more contrast between each of the layers. With that being said, if it is not a plywood project, if you're using pine or maple, a water-based finish is probably the way to go. Regardless, the final step was to use bungee cords to make the footrest of the stool. Now this serves a couple different purposes. One, it gives your foot a nice place to set, but it also provides enough tension on each of the legs so that there's no opportunity for that glue junction between the legs and the stool to ever come loose and for one of those dowels to slip out. But let's be real, we use the bungees because they look cool. So huge thanks to Ben for helping me build this project.
Thanks for having me here.
Make sure and go to the description and follow the link to his channel below. Also, whatever is up in the screen here. If you're new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Make sure and hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated every time I post new project videos. And speaking of project videos, one of Ben's will be right here and one of mine will be right here. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time on Modern
Builds.
Come on, man. We should have had this.
Do it.
So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time on Modern Builds.
Yes!